What's going on, folks? My name is Steve. This is Race Day, and today we have another banger in store today from Texas Motor Speedway. The Lone Star State ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series is, man, we're getting closer and closer to playoff time already. A little bit past halfway in the regular season, and off we go. We're here today for round 2 of the Midseason Madness in-season tournament, and qualifying already underway. We're going to go down trackside and check it out. Qualifying well underway right now, and kind of a cloudy skies today. It's pretty well overcast. You're going to see a lot of different conditions, a lot of sun, a lot of cloud coverage. I already saw it earlier in the practice. James Thurston looking very, very quick. Tim Robb making a quick lap, 29.20 already. Brandon Bowie, Michael Johnson already. Austin Salyers. Tim Robb, though, man, what a good lap right there. 29.20. Nobody else has beaten him thus far. Devin Smecker was the quickest in practice. He's pretty slow right now. Maybe to try... Oh, maybe not. Okay. Thought maybe he was going to speed one back up. Mark Whitley right now on track, going to try his thing. And let me check out this car, man. Jawa. Hey, I know Jawa. Been using them to buy and sell some extra parts I have for my PC. A lot of you guys know I just changed my my whole CPU and all that motherboard. I went from Intel to AMD, and man, that Jawa car is sick. Love that. Yeah, Jawa's great. I use them a lot for all that stuff, and man, that's cool to see. Cool to see that car on the circuit today. So hopefully he does well in that. Tim Robb, though, up front still. Matthew Fleming, currently 17th spot. Will Doe on track right now. All kinds of guys making moves here. Kenny Reel, he's back after a couple of weeks of being off. Good to see him right here. Going to try and run that lap. Man, Tim Robb so far put down a flyer. William Robbins up to 13th. Looking good. Zelazny, P20 right now, backwards on track, so that's interesting. Daryl Young right here. Where is he? Here he is. Good stuff. Nice and quick around this 1.5 mile track. Turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Man, they are so different. Tim Robb, though, looking like he's going to sneak one in. Daryl Young, 14th. Spencer Burns, that 78 Chungus machine. Hey, we know how fast this man is. Can he steal it away from Tim Robb? Ooh! That contact. Nah, it's not going to be it. Unfortunate. Nobody else on track except Kenny Reel. Hold on. Maybe gets one more lap here to try and do it. Not going to be enough. So Tim Robb will be our pole sitter today. Awesome stuff. It just running some extra practice laps right there. So, hey, not bad. Not a bad move, right? You come in late into the session, run some laps, and off you go. Tim Robb going to be your pole sitter. Going to go into a 5-minute warm-up session real quick. Let these drivers do their thing and get some pit road entry going and whatnot. But, hey, we'll step aside for a second. We'll go and thank some sponsors. We'll come right back.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
Welcome back, folks. It's the Marco's Garage 225. Big thanks to those boys over there supporting the stream in the race today. Hey, go and check them out. Marco's Garage on, man, all the social medias, the website. A lot of good stuff in and around them for them. Awesome people. Hey, right now, about a minute and a half left to go, actually, roughly, before we get to the beginning of this race. Right now, Tim Robb on track. We're going to try and get a word with Tim Robb, actually, if we can. Try and sneak a word in here if he ever goes into the pit. So we'll watch out for him in just a bit. A bunch of guys, though, racing for it. Warm-up is underway. A bunch of drivers on track right now. So we will see. Track right now under pretty much overcast skies. We're going to see a lot of that today. Overcast, some sunny side action going on. Going to be a day race, though. No nighttime conditions, so full day, 150 laps. So a decently long race, but 2 stages, obviously. No yellow flags will be thrown for those, but hey, you never know how this race can go. New Hampshire last week, if you were there for that, man, that did not go the way we wanted it to, but hey, you know what? Those can happen. Unfortunately, a couple drivers from that are parked essentially for today's race, suspended for one race. But hey, it's a new week. We'll try it again. Man, mid-season madness, in-season tournament underway. Bunch of guys going for it right now. Next week at Darlington, man, that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll get that going. So, right now on track, let's try and get a hold of Tim Robb. Maybe he's still on track, so we'll hold off on that right there. Maybe we'll try and sneak him up right on the warm-up laps. But huge thanks, obviously, to man, everybody. James Thurston in the back. A little bit of an issue in practice. So warm-up is done. We're going to get down to the grid here in just a minute. We're going to get this thing underway. Different mic today, folks, so we're trying some different things here in the booth. Hopefully it sounds good for you, and let me know if it's terrible or if it's good or whatever it is. So we'll try and fluctuate things as we go, but should be some fun. All right, down to the grid. Let's take a look at who is going to make it in this race. Little lighter crowd today than we saw the last couple of weeks. About 30 drivers today, which is pretty good. It's always a good day when you get more than 30, so good to see. But on the grid, Tim Robb going to be the pole sitter today. We'll bring him in just a second if we can. Waiting for everyone to start gridding and getting onto the track. Just wait for it. Here we go. Here they are. So Tim Robb on the pole right now. Frankie Barroso going to be in P2. James Thurston right there in third spot. Devin Smecker in P4. Brendan Bowie rolls off P5. Hagen in P6. Brendan Fetter plays P7. Christian Angel 8th. Michael Johnson 9th. Mark Whitley in P10. Rounding up the top 20, Adam Garza, Mealy Robbins, Daryl Young, Jacob Weist, Austin Salyers, Ethan Delaire, Thomas Meeks, Austin Halsey, and then Matthew Fleming round out the top 20. Rounding up the field today, Trevor Zelazny in 21st, Will Doe, followed by Kenny Reel, Jackson Anderson, Spencer Burns. A couple of guys did not get a great qualifying run, but they're still in the race. Ryan Sharp, hey, a new ride there. Love that color combination, looking good. Julio Villalobos, 27th place. Albert Forster, 28th. Josh Larson, 29th. James Kaufman, and then rounding out the field is Landon Bednarz. So a bunch of guys here on track, looking pretty good. Not going to have time to talk to Tim Robb, but that's fine. We'll let them get to focusing and concentrating. Long race today, 150 laps. There we go. Race details. 150 laps today. Stage 1 will be lap 50, stage 2 lap 100. Basically cutting the race in thirds, 4 stages. 75% fuel, 0 fast repairs, and 3 green-white checkers if we need them. So here we go. We're going to get underway here. The Marcos Garage 225. Pace car already has the lights off. 32 drivers. Gonna go green here. Pace car pulls off. Green flag about to be waved. Tim Robb, Frankie Barroso, Geico restart zone, and we are green. And just like that, lap 1 underway. Frankie Barroso gets around Tim Robb right here, making a good move on the inside. Brandon Bowie not too far back, his teammate, trying to follow suit. The low line here in turns 1 and 2 is the ideal line. But then right here in 3 and 4, you gotta be careful because it can be all out. It's full throttle for the most part on fresh tires. Good stuff so far. Middle of the pack, still too wide. Expect to see that. Turns 1 and 2 are pretty wide. You can make too wide work here really, really well, but you gotta be careful because the outside lane just doesn't have the grip like the inside lane does. Good start so far. Lap number 3. Fetter Place and Christian Angel right now side by side. John Hagen gonna give him a push. So far, so good here. Angel on the outside. Outside lane, the thing about the outside lane here, especially in Texas, it can be used to pass, but man, your tires are gonna get used up so quick. Gotta be so careful there. In these races, right, we know how dangerous they can, not dangerous, but like, how quickly tires can just be used up, right? And that's one of the things you got to be careful about here. Tire wear. These races, I know I say it weekly, but hey, there's no guaranteed cautions, right? So it can be one of those races where we just stay green and you have to maintain those tires. Gonna be about track position though, for sure, right? Qualifying does matter, but especially being up front as much as you can. Stage 1 will end pretty quick, right? 50 laps. Hagen, though, you can see him, the 81 on the outside here. Fetter Place has that preferred lane on the inside of 3 and 4. It's pretty well spread out here. Full throttle. Looking pretty good. Adam Garza right now, right in the middle of it. Let's try and do a hot lap with Adam Garza. Right behind John Hagen. Outside lane is pretty nice right here. You definitely can make it work. And lift it a little bit in 4th gear. Keep the RPMs really high. Has Fetter Place right to his inside. Mark Whitley right behind him. Upshift to 5th on corner exit. He'll probably downshift again into turn 1. There it goes. Maintains the outside lane. Mark Whitley going to try and maybe go 3 wide here. Decided against it in the rear view. And man, hectic right now for Adam Garza. Great run right there for Fetter Place, right in behind Christian Can't quite get there. Maybe 3 wide here in a second. John Hagen going to try and go 3 wide in between Thurston. These guys are not saving tires, it looks like. They're going to go. Hagen makes a great move down low there. And now we're 2 wide again. Whitley not going to waste time there on the inside either. Good move for these guys. Frankie Barroso still up front. Tim Robb is challenging. And man, they are out front by a lot, by about 2 seconds right now. The clean air is going to be king today. I'm telling you what, right now, Frankie, Tim Robb, they're fighting for that clean air. You can really see how it affects the car already. Smecker looking quick. Bowie. Definitely one of those tracks, right, that you're going to be around cars a lot the entire time. Now, once the tires wear out, it's going to get a little more dicey. A little more single file, right? Less grip, a lot tighter. And they are still making it work. Quick update, too, on the back of the pack. Ryan Sharp, Landon Bednards going for it, back in the higher 20s. Larson Villalobos here, for the most part, single file at the back. Spencer Burns in 23rd. Maybe conserving some tires here. Kenny Reels, Lasney, Anderson. These guys all are trying to make sure they can hold on to it. Single file for the most part throughout the field, but up front still, Robbins having a great run right now. P9 for Robbins on the outside lane. Going to try and make a move here, maybe around Thurston. He'll have a decent exit here, but maybe not enough room. He does, okay. Side by side still. Outside lane, I'm telling you, can work, but it's just, man, it's a tire killer, right? Tire killer, but it all depends too, I feel like. This track can go either way on long run, right? Depending on the setup, if it goes tighter, you're not going to want to be up there, right? But if it goes looser, yeah, I can really see the outside lane working for the most part later on in this race. And look at these guys. Hagen, Adam Garza, already fighting for a top 5 spot. Whitley not too far back either here in P7. And these guys aren't giving it up already. 15 laps into this race. A little bump right there, maybe from Angel. Decides against it. Good move here. Early in this race. Still 2 by 2. And this is the thing, right? It's just so hard to pass at tracks like this, with this car in particular. But so far, not bad. Ooh, yellow flag is out, it looks like. Who is it? I'm being told it's Michael Johnson. Oh no, he's in the back of the track here. What happened to... Car looks completely fine. Oh, weird. What happened? Hasn't towed or anything, so... Well, there he goes. Man, what was that about? We'll wait for it. Or we'll go back and see what happens here, but man. So Michael Johnson just kind of pulls over here and then stops. Yeah, so he stops, and that brings up the yellow, which is very, very odd why iRacing would throw the yellow when he's way off track, right? He did the right thing, pulled it way off the track, but didn't see any damage. No, nothing wrong there. So, man, it's a tough one. Looks like he's good to go now. Gonna come down pit road. Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't think he runs VR, right? So my first thought was like, okay, well, maybe he runs VR. Maybe his screens went black and he pulled off as best he could and you know, brought it to a stop. But yeah, I don't know. Very, very strange. Either way, though, our first caution of the day, Tim Robb and a bunch of guys coming down pit road. Everyone doing their thing. A lot of guys decided not to come down either, but the top 4 did not come down. Actually, top 5 didn't come down. So a lot going on today already. Lap 17, first caution, not too bad for an odd wreck right here. We'll try and get some information there out of him. Actually, you know what? Let's just try and dial him up. Let's just do things a bit different today, you know? I kind of like that. Where is he on track? Michael Johnson, here he is. Is he even here? Okay, there he is. Let's try and dial him up real quick and see if we can get some information. Not to put him on the spot, but, you know. Hey, Michael Johnson, get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, doing things a little differently around here in the booth, but saw that you pulled off or whatnot. Was there some kind of like technical issue or like what happened?
Yeah, my wheel shut off.
Oh no. Okay.
So.
We're like, man, what happened? I thought maybe I knew you didn't have like VR, so I'm like, okay, did the screen go black or whatever? But all right, hey, good to know. Glad that you're okay, and good luck rest of the way, man.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll work.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right, we'll get you back to it. Good luck. All right. Good to know. Wheel disconnect. Hey, that's. I'll tell you what. That can happen, right? That's the fun thing about virtual racing, is that, man, it's kind of like, your wheel could disconnect, or your VR could turn off, or whatever, right? It's always funny how this brings in a different level, right? We can't really blow a tire here, with these cars and in the sim, but you can, for lack of a better phrase, blow a tire right in your sim rig. So it's pretty funny. But hey, those things can happen. But here we go. Ending our first caution. No cars damaged, which is good. Johnson should be able to resume the race just fine and maybe even get that lap back at one point. But here we go. Back green. Teammates, Bowie and Barroso up front. Frankie nails that grass a little bit. Got to be careful of that. That'll get you real loose real fast. But good stuff so far. Frankie going to clear his teammate and team owner on the exit. And for the most part, single file. Back here, though, fresh tires, it looks like, for the majority of these guys, as well as fuel. Whitley, oh, man, almost tried to go 3 wide there in between Larson. He's still trying to, I think. Zelazny, oh no, hard hit right there. Man, Zelazny just did not prepare for that corner. Big damage on that 23, the blue and white car. Might be okay to continue. Seems like he is. All right, we'll keep an eye on it. John Hagen going to try the outside lane here. You don't really see a lot of that right here in Texas. The far outside lane, right? You'll see it at like Homestead, where they ride the wall. But man, not necessarily here. But it could be the gap they need. Tim Robb, your pole sitter, back to P6, was one of the first ones to come down pit road for the tires and fuel. So he's good to go. We know he's good for fuel to get to the end of the stage, if my math is correct. So expect him to blow past these leaders here pretty quick. And I'll tell you what, still 27 laps to go here until the end of stage 1, but man, look at Tim Robb come. He is just 3 wide here. Gonna blow past maybe the Bowie Esport drivers here with the fresh tires. Hagen, though, doing the same thing. Man, good stuff so far. All the while, by the way, Adam Garza takes the lead here out front. These guys, though, really under fire. Oh, no, Robbins, it looks like, in the back. Big damage on the right side. I think Smecker might have gotten involved in that, too. Yeah, Robbins really off pace. Right front, definitely damage. We'll have to come down pit road, I think, and get that thing fixed. We'll watch for it. Lordy. Someone's blinking like crazy right there, but we keep going. So, Garza up front, Tim Robb, P2, John Hagan third, Thurston fourth. A lot of these guys, again, took tires, have the fuel. They can push if they want to, and they sure are. Daryl Young, Jacob Weist right here, fighting for, trying to get to the top 10, halfway before we get to the end of stage 1. Jacob Weist having a very good season so far, man. He's top 5 in points, and just been super consistent every single race. Good to see. And the number 60 machine. Trying to get one more today if he can. Further on back, the guys who got damaged a little earlier, Robbins in the pits right now. Yeah, it looks like that damage was way too much for him. Definitely going to try and fix that. Zelazny we saw as well have some pretty significant right side damage and the front as well. Yeah, look at that front all caved in. So we'll have to get that fixed at some point. Smecker here. I thought he got involved with that Robbins when he hit the wall, but I don't think he has any damage. We'll try and see. Yeah, I don't see any damage there to that 26, so he should be good to go for now. So far, so good. Garza up front, leading this race, man. Can today be the day? It very well could be. That Garza can break through. Tim Robb, right here, right? He's a guy, I'm telling you, he's a guy that can win this race if things go well for him. And he obviously has the speed, he has the track position. And so far, it seems like he's making all the right moves. It's good stuff. Now, again, these guys who pitted right then, I feel like this is a good strategy for the stage, right? I mean, obviously, stage points matter a lot. Try and get yourself into the playoffs, and even then, once you're in the playoffs, further yourself, you know, give yourself the best advantage. But I really think that some guys, maybe they're making a play for the win, right? It all depends, but especially since, you know, wins don't grant you automatic entry into the playoffs, right? So I think with that being said, I don't know. I don't think you prioritize the win, right? I think you need to prioritize stages. So for me, I kind of like what Garza's doing, Tim Robb, right? They're going to secure themselves the best chance to get stage points. It's a smart move. P15 right here. Fetter plays Zelazny. Tell you what, that damage is not affecting that 23 all too much because he is right there. Still going at it. Matthew Fleming, man, what a great spot for him right here. Not a lot said about Matthew Fleming, but I'll tell you what, he's one of our OGs here in ASRA. He's been here for a long time now, the team owner of Flagship and Flumdog Motorsports. Always consistent, always here, and man, just a good dude. Happy to still see him here and having a good run today. P6. It's been a while since he's won. I think it's been maybe 3 seasons. I think his last win came at Darlington, actually, a couple of seasons back. So still has what it takes and has come close multiple times, but he will figure it out soon. I'll tell you what, he's still a guy who can win. But, man, good stuff right there for Matthew Fleming. Top 5 for the most part, staying steady. Fleming as well back there. Jacob Weist has been, he's been flying as well too, right? These guys all on the fresh tires. Anderson didn't qualify all too well. Qualified 24th. And right now, back up to P8 already. Highest mover of the race so far, so awesome stuff. A lot of the guys fighting for the top spots. Look at Brandon Bowie. 12th place. Man, all the way back here right now, Frankie Barroso in P18. Led the beginning couple of laps until that first caution. And then right now, man, having a tough time. But again, now that he knows his strategy is not going to work for stage one, maybe you shift it, right? Maybe you shift your strategy. Same thing that Devin Smecker's doing, right? Hey, you realize, okay, maybe my strat for stage one didn't work. A lot of guys came in, right, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe you kind of shift it up. Maybe you save more fuel now, and that way stage two can work a little bit more in your favor. I don't know how that looks. Third place. Kind of falling back now, too, so Christian Angel, these guys aren't drivers that you'll see right in the back of the pack, mid to back pack. So this tells me they're kind of working on something here. This 4 in your shot. Boonpool says Twitter Spaces in the chat. I love that. Hey, I know you guys are over there talking about us and watching the race and doing your thing. So, hey, we appreciate that. Our Hosky and Cardano family over there. Always fun to have you guys here in the chat, too, so we appreciate it. Top 5 staying pretty consistent. Top 6, 7, really. It's actually quite getting spread out the field right now. Austin Salyers, by the way, up to P9. Looking really, really good. This is a track, right? This is one of those tracks that's a 1.5, but it's kind of different, right? It doesn't necessarily race like a 1.5. The corners are just so different. Both ends of the track, way, way different. And sometimes it can just hit, right? It can just hit for somebody. A lot of guys doing good. Will Doe in P11. Take a look at this hot rod right here. Number 70 machine. Will Doe. Looking good. HDR. Ethan Delaire. Oh, yeah. New paint scheme, too. That's right. Him and Jackson Anderson have the team associated on the sides of that of their cars now. Looking pretty solid. Love seeing new paint schemes on track. Looking good. A lot of guys so far being really solid. Great race so far. Back of the field. Larson. I know last week he had a lot of blinking issues, but so far today, not too bad. Has some right side damage. Not sure where that came from. Looks pretty slow off pace, actually. So I don't know if he's back there just to maintain the blinkiness, but we know James Kaufman is. Michael Johnson's still in the back, but we know he's a lap down, so we're going to try and fight for it. Caution comes out. He will be the lucky dog. And we know he has the speed, so it's just a matter of time. A couple of guys back here, too, that kind of shocking. Joseph Mealy in the back right here. Digital downforce number 2 machine, the Green Monster, as I think I'll call it. Being from Boston, love it. 24th spot for him. Albert Forrester. Ooh, new ride today. Normally that car is all black, or I mean all greenish. Added some color. I think we still need to get some, I don't know, paints right there on that bad boy. Somebody cue the harpoon. Ah, there it is. Perfect. Get this man a harpoon design paint scheme right now. Albert Forrester. We'll talk to him after the race. Just kidding. But, man, solid today so far. Landon Bednards has some right side damage there above the wheel well. Not sure if that came from, again, no caution so far in the sense of like, damage or big wrecks or whatever. So sometimes these guys can hit the outside wall. I see that a lot here too, especially coming out of turn 2. A lot of guys will hit the wall there, and that can definitely affect that car, that handling. Spencer Burns, 23rd. Bunch of guys making moves. John Hagen, speaking of, makes a move here for P1. Already has 2 wins on the season. Trying to go for a third today. 43 laps into stage 1. About 6 laps away now from the end of stage 1. And Garza still going to try and track him down again. These guys have the same tires, same situation. Could be a classic example here of, hey, you know what? You want to go by me? Okay. And Garza will maybe then pass him in a couple laps. You never know. Tim Robb still in third. Thurston up to P4. Matthew Fleming has made his way past into P5. And then Whitley right there in P6. So, man, good stuff on track. Top 10 battle. Daryl Young in P10, man. Great run for Daryl Young. You know, we always kind of like laugh and joke, right? Daryl Young is really, really good, if not the best, in my opinion, at super speedway tracks, right? Atlanta, Daytona, Talladega. But when it comes to like other tracks, right, it's just hard to know kind of where his talent level is, right? Because I never really see him on anything else except those big tracks. But today, right now, in a top 10 spot, ooh, kisses the wall there. You got to be careful, but man, so far, really, really good. To get stage points is always a good day. Up front, though, John Hagen, Adam Garza trying to win stage 1. Keep in mind, folks, no yellow flags for the stages. So right now, Hagen making a move in P1. Garza, Tim Robb, Thurston. So far, so good. Good racing. Green flag racing will do that, right? This race can go by pretty quick. Kenny Villalobos right now in the back of the field, starting to get some things done right here. Again, 20th and 21st spot. Not too bad. Thomas Meeks. Haven't talked much about him today so far, but right here in 22nd spot, being consistent. So far, so, I mean, I'll tell you what, I don't want to be that guy, right? I mean, but hey, after New Hampshire, it was rough, right? The vibe was kind of like, oof, you know, what do we do? Like, what's going to happen, right? But maybe everyone's on their tiptoes today, on their best behavior. I don't know, but so far it seems like it. Either way, this is the kind of racing I feel like we can have every single week. These boys know what they're doing. Jackson Anderson, by the way, at the buzzer, going to try maybe pass Mark Whitley here for P6 as they come to the stripe here for stages. Might not get done here. But John Hagen going to come around turn 4, and he will win stage number 1. There he is. Hagen, stage winner. Garza P2, Robb, Thurston, Fleming. Mark Whitley holds on to P6 right there. Anderson. Salyers had the spot at the line. And then Daryl Young going to be right there in 10th. Awesome, awesome run there for stage 1. So we keep it going. When do these guys pit? When do they have to come down, right? That's the question. These guys can go a lot longer, about 20 laps, really, longer than the guys who did come down pit road, or didn't, excuse me. Mark Whitley, the first to come. Who else? Fetter Place as well. Different strategies right now. Meeks, Ryan Sharp. You got to be careful. Get it down to 55 miles an hour. Expect to see, again, 4 tires. Whitley was the first to come down pit road. Fetter Place right here as well. Right sides, left sides. Off they go. Good stuff. Nobody taking, 2 tires, nothing of that sort. So here come Bowie and then Frankie Barroso. Frankie was leading the beginning part of this race. And now they're coming down pit road at this point. So, which is interesting to me. They made the entire stage right here. Keep that in mind, folks. If this race is three stages all cut in the same length. They just made stage 1 in about 52 laps. Granted, we had the yellow flag too, so good to know. They might try and make this with one more stop if it can stay green. You never know. A lot can happen. Villalobos here. Pit road, Forster right behind him. Spencer Burns comes down as well. Everyone 4 tires, fuel. Daryl Young doing the same thing here. The fall off is also one thing we got to talk about too, right? Texas, which is where we're at, man, it's not too big. Fall off really not that bad here. Definitely less than a second. So tires aren't going to play a huge role, but will definitely play a role as far as advantage, right? Next week in Darlington, tires will be massive. That'll be the majority of what we talk about because it'll be so key to having the tire sets. As Adam Garza here, you're going to come down. Again, expect to see 4 tires, Fleming as well. And for the most part, that will end green flag pit stops once these guys finish off. There they go. Good stuff. So John Hagan right now currently is the leader. P1. Tim Robbins second. James Thurston in 3rd spot. Stage 1 over and done with, folks. Stage 2 will end on lap 100. We're a ways away from that. So let's take a quick break, folks. We'll go race day nonstop. We'll thank some sponsors, but you won't miss any action on track.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Vegas pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, welcome back right now to the Marcos Garage 225 here from Texas Motor Speedway. Green flag pit stops have just ended, and we are right now in the middle of stage number 2. John Hagan is your leader right now by about almost 3 seconds here up against Tim Robb. Austin Salyers now coming down pit road, gives up a top 10 spot. But Tim Robb holding on to that P2, Thurston in 3rd. Weist, man, awesome run here for Apollo Motorsports. 2 and 4 right now. Good stuff. Halsey in P5. Big old battle here. Look at this. All kinds of guys. Garza, 1 lap down right now. A lot of these guys right here are a lap down because everyone who didn't pit earlier, they're still out. So keep that in mind. John Hagan now comes down pit road finally on lap 62. And will surrender the lead as Wildo makes his move now too. So Tim Robb gets his number 1 spot back after winning the pole today. It's going to end short, though. Comes down pit road. Going to woe it down here, and there he goes. Comes down pit road. Thurston as well. A couple of more guys. Different pit strategies again. Keep in mind, these guys could go about 20 laps more since they pit before. And that'll give the lead right now to Jacob Weist. Currently, ooh, big mess almost there. Daryl Young had to really get around him kind of awkwardly. But again, Jacob Weist on old tires still. Everyone else blowing past him. We'll definitely see Weist, Zelazny, Smecker. These guys still have to come down pit road. It's just a matter of when, right? Adam Garza should be given the lead once we get back to it. Thurston off pit road here. Halsey as well. But for the time being, Jacob Weist is your leader. And this is the great thing about green flag racing, folks, is that, man, it changes everything up so much, right? You really have to nail the pit strategy and off and on. Here we go. Weist down pit road, your leader here. You're going to give it up. Zelazny will take over the lead right there. Get that lap led for an extra point, which can be big, right? Devin Smecker not too far back. Doing the same thing here. So everyone behind Hagan we know has already pit, right? So these guys are the ones going for it. Smecker actually makes a move right there on Trevor. Never mind, he comes down pit road. So off he comes. Smecker now gets that lead lap. This isn't a bad move too, right? This can be a smart move, right? Staying out as long as you can might be huge for the end of your race. Could pit maybe one time less, maybe take less fuel, right? 2-tire pit stop, which I expect to see at some point. I've got a funny feeling. Somebody will take 2 at some point and throw a wrench into everything, but that's what can happen. Fleming and Bowie right now going for it. Top 6 spot on the line. I feel like I had the race levels too quiet. I apologize for that. Still trying to work out some things, but just raised it a little bit. Hopefully it's not too loud now, but we'll give it a whirl. So Garza takes over the lead right here in P1. Whitley going to be in P2. Everyone seems like they had a good out lap, a good in lap. That was kind of the issue last week, I feel like, in New Hampshire. That race could have gone green for a long time, I feel like, if, I believe it was Meeks. He spun out coming onto pit road for green flag pit stop. So, man, if that doesn't happen, I feel like that race goes green for a long time, but it happens. It can happen. Tim Robin, P11. Salyer's not too far back. Frankie Barroso making his way back up to in 13th. But this is the thing, right? You kind of set yourself up, you know, not negatively, I guess, but you kind of set yourself up for a bad vibe already. I think if Frankie and them, and, you know, I think it was Bowie part of that crowd too, maybe, you know, if they come a little earlier, you know, with the rest of everybody on lap 20 when they all pit, you know, maybe things are a bit different for them now, but it's hard to say. A couple more guys in the back, though, still that I'm kind of wondering why at this point, right? Devin Smecker, Michael Johnson, we know his issue. He brought up the only caution we've had so far with his wheel disconnecting, so he's just waiting for that caution to come out to get himself back on the lead lap. Everyone else, though, still doing their thing. Clean and green is what we like on lap 71. Already about to be halfway in about 3 laps, which is very good news. So far, so good. While we have the time, folks, by the way, I just want to quickly thank you guys for being here and supporting the channel, supporting your favorite driver, and the league, the sponsors, all of it. Really cool stuff. Right now, we are in the middle, by the way, of the Midseason Madness in-season tournament as well. Cannot forget about that. A lot going down. Next week will be all kinds of fun stuff. We'll talk about it. But yeah, right now, a lot of guys going for it, right? Brandon Bowie going up against Trevor Zelazny. Frankie Barroso going up against Thurston. Ryan Sharp right now trying to go up against Michael Johnson. So far, Johnson with the issue. It gives that advantage to Ryan. And then Joseph Mealy up against Anderson. So a lot of guys trying to go for the Midseason Madness tournament. We give out awesome trophies from Sick Trophies. Man, go and check those guys out, by the way. Incredible stuff. Already crowned one winner. John Hagan was the winner of our first rendition of it, the Dash for Cash. And unfortunately, last week he was eliminated by Ryan Sharp in the first race, so he's not competing for that championship here, the in-season tournament, but he is trying to win this race, and right now he's trying to make his way around Mark Whitley. And there he goes. Whitley gonna let him go, kinda. I feel like he didn't really put up a fight. Mark Whitley didn't. Again, right now it's lap 75. We're past halfway, or really we're at halfway. This is kind of a good thing, right? Now as a driver, at least for me, in my mentality, right? I'm looking at it like, okay, what's this race trending to be? And right now it's trending as if it's going to be green, right? So now you got to kind of shift your focus on maybe not short runs, but now you got to worry about, okay, now I need these tires to be there at the end of a long run, right? You have to change your focus. And right now, this race is very, very good. Long runs will matter today. But Adam Garza up front, commanding lead for 3.5 seconds right now. Up front, John Hagan in second spot, trying to catch him. Mark Whitley in third. Matthew Fleming, P4, man, great run for him so far. James Thurston, top 5. $23 laps to go until stage 2 ends. And a lot of these, excuse me, went down the wrong hole. Austin Sires right here in P8. Man, Bowie in Fender place right here still. Bowie Esport drivers. Brandon Bowie, I'll tell you what, he's a guy, and we joke about it every time. Last season's defending champion. 2-time champion now. In this season, he has the win, right? He has the win so far this season. Oh, one driver off the pace here. I think it was Daryl Young, maybe. Oh, no. Our scoring tower went a little loopy. Looks like everyone's good to go now, so we'll maintain it. Brandon Bowie, though, yeah, he was, this season, he has the win, right? But he's had probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 races now where he just hasn't been super great, you know, like kind of hovers on that top 10, but not really, you know, towards the front. And then something happens at the end of these races, and there he is, you know, in a top 3 podium spot, and we're talking to him post-race. So pretty good stuff, right? But then there's guys like, again, Jacob Weist. I know he's in 14th right now, but you know, a guy like this, he's just doing it right. He's super consistent, you know, not necessarily top 3s, top 5s, but man, a top 6, top 5 at Le Mans was incredible. Really good stuff by a lot of these guys today. Michael Johnson still in 27th. Again, the only driver in the field who, well, we had the caution back on lap 17 from his wheel disconnect, which even shouldn't have been a caution. He was way off track down low in turn 3 below the apron, so I'm really surprised it threw a yellow out. It normally wouldn't, but it can happen. But still trying to fight for it. Christian Angel comes down pit road here. This seems pretty early, at least according to my notes, but hey, either way, we know he'll be good to go for the end of the race here. Interesting call, though. We'll see what he takes. Are we going 2 tires here, 4 tires? We're going to get fuel here, I know that, but do we get 4? Looks like we're going to. All right, so a bold call here from Christian Angel. And then off he goes. John Hagen trying to squeeze by Adam Garza for the lead, and he does do it. Good stuff. So Hagen back up to the front, trying to reclaim stage 2. Won stage 1 by passing Garza. And then now Adam Garza's doing the same thing, kind of not letting him go per se, but man, not really able to put up a fight. Not sure if his long run pace just isn't there, but Hagen definitely has what it takes. Awesome stuff. So Hagen back to the front. Garza in P2. James Thurston. Man, look at that gap. About 5 seconds away in 3rd spot. Tim Robb right here in P4. Top 5 spot is great. Mark Whitley, a top 5 so far, still in P5 actually. In that Jawa machine. Looking good right now. Getting a little dirty. As he 85 laps into this race, but hey, that's going to happen on a white car. But man, it looks damn good. Matthew Fleming P6 right here. Sire 7th place. Brandon Bowie in P8. Jackson Anderson up to P9. Again, still our top driver as far as where they started from. Up 15 spots. In the old school paint scheme too, I'm noticing. He's in his last season paint scheme, not the new one. Looking good though. And then Brandon Feder place right there in P10. Daryl Young kind of right there too. Maybe able to sneak back there for a top 10 again for those stage points. But man, looking really good. 86 laps into this race. John Hagen is our leader. Good stuff. We're going to go race day nonstop one more time, folks. Again, thanks some sponsors. Hey, without any cautions, it's hard to go thank our sponsors, which we love to see. So, hey, going to go race day nonstop. We'll come right back, folks. Stick around.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Vegas pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
Now we're trying to come back to the live race. Hey, welcome back, folks. It is race day right here, ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series, the Marcos Garage 225. Awesome stuff right now. Lap 90, 10 laps away from the end of stage 2. So far been a banger of a race. One caution, and that was Michael Johnson, who's right now a lap down, trying to get his lap back. If a caution were to come out, but it ironically has not yet. So good stuff this race. Very, very good. And Michael Johnson, the lone caution causer from his wheel disconnect, but that can happen, right? That's going to happen. John Hagen up front in P1. Man, Garza has fallen off like a rock. 5 seconds back now. Tim Robb up to P3. James Thurston has fallen down a spot, so Robb actually just gained a spot right there. So 7.5 seconds right now. Solid stuff. John Hagen putting on a masterclass, and again, this is one of those races too. I know I kind of touched on it earlier, right? But hey, we're missing, probably 3 or 4 or 5 prominent names in this series right now. Brandon Six not here. Max Brady, Blaze Crawford, I know has his Coke Series race tonight, so hopefully he's doing well. We wish him well, but Van Drugman not here, right? Dylan Basin, a couple of guys who are super quick, but they're not here, right? And that opens up an opportunity for these guys to have a good run. Sometimes I've noticed, right, especially in like online racing, iRacing and whatnot, it's not even necessarily how well you do in a season necessarily, right? It's, are you consistent? Do you show up? I mean, are you there, right? It's kind of like that plays a huge role into it. But hey, a lot of these guys putting on some good shows today. Anderson, a lot of guys. Will Doe actually comes down pit road, squeezes those tires. I'm not sure what the hell that means, but I meant to say he's squeezing the brakes and locked him up. That sounds better. Comes down here. His teammate Christian Angel came down a second ago, maybe about 10 laps at this point. Coming down, fix some front end damage, some 4 tires, fuel. Everyone else, though, seems like they can make it the rest of the way. Hagen, though, doing a really good job in P1. Similar to what we saw Kevin King do last week in New Hampshire, just dominated the race from, the first lap to the last. Hagen didn't have a great starting spot. Well, I mean, they qualified 6th, right? But, didn't show the speed necessarily in practice and whatnot, but got that good lap down. But so far, once he got to the front, he's been there. Here comes Frankie Barroso, comes down pit road now. And again, interesting call, right? He knows he can't make it to the end of the stage and be in that top 10. So what do? You come down pit road. I like it. I like the strat calls. Bednard's down pit road as well. Kaufman is on pit road, I think, trying to sort out that connection issue. Yeah, he's blinking right there. Lord have mercy. He's trying to work on that. It's all good. So Hagen, don't expect any more drivers to come down pit road here for stage points, but it could happen. Daryl Young, this is the fight right here for top 10. Young has the 10th spot. Federer plays P9. Trying to go for the stage points, that last point if they can get it. Looks like tires are definitely a huge point of contention. Again, right, these guys, it's funny, the vibe, to me at least, right? After a race like New Hampshire last week, everyone's probably so on edge still. A lot of cautions, a lot of short runs. But then we get to a point now where it's like, well, super long runs. And, hey, that changes the game a lot of times, right? Catch him off guard. Federer Place comes down pit road here. It gives up actually gives up a top 10 stage point spot, which is interesting. So I'm guessing he maybe had to come down pit road. John Hagen, though, going to come across the line right there, and he will be the stage 2 winner just like that. Tim Robb in P2, man, great effort out of Tim Robb. Thurston 3rd, Garza 4th, Fleming in P5. Comes across the line, man, good stuff. Salyers, Mark Whitley. comes down pit road as well. Good. I think this is a good move, right? Because we score the stage points when the leader crosses the line, not when the rest of the top 10 cross the line. So that's a smart move there, a heads-up move. Only a seasoned ASRA veteran would know that little trick. So good stuff there for Mark Whitlock. Comes down the second he could once the leader came. 4 tires and fuel, off he goes. Ryan Sharp as well. Ooh, slid to the pit box. I think big time. Oh no, there he is. More fuel, Anderson, Kenny Reel. Now that stage 2 is done, they're all going to come down pit road. Kenny Reel, he is here. Anderson. Only 48 laps to go in this Marcos Garage 225. John Hagan. Oh, hold on. Brandon Bowie comes down. Early. Hagan, though, still going to fight for it here. I like the idea of coming early just because any advantage you might have with the tires, it might work out in your favor. We know, though, Hagan can go quite a bit more time than these guys right here, so I think we're going to see a lot of guys trying different things. Garza making a move now to come down pit road. And I feel like so far, Garza's been the closest one to try and compete against Hagan. He just has to do something a little bit different than Hagan to make this move, right? Got to do it on long run speed. No right side tires yet. Interesting. I like that move, though. Still plenty of laps left. Daryl Young now coming down pit road. Fleming as well. I think in a perfect situation, right? These guys want to come when they have the ability to make it on fuel the rest of the way. That'll be money. If they can kind of get that right, not have to pit again, would be massive. Devin Smecker, we know we can go a lot longer here on fuel. Let's take a ride on board actually real quick just to see, kind of get a vibe check here from the Devin Smecker machine, dripdrops.io on the side of this. Let's go Husky Hot Lab like we love to do. So right here, little loose right there out of turn 4. A lot of cloud coverage right now. Track should be a lot more gripped up. Maybe a little tighter as well. Yeah, so you can see the car still wants to stay straight there, but he's turning left. That car's tight entry, but loose off. You can see it. Definitely difficult. Just comes down to who can manage their tires the best. One car coming down pit road there. I believe that's Josh Larson in front. So far, though, solid and consistent here out of Devin in P4. Leader comes down pit road here. Gives up the #1 spot, lap 107. Tim Robb as well follows suit. Not a bad move here. As Thurston will get a lap led. So 1 extra bonus point for him, but what do these guys do? 2 tires, 4 tires? I don't think we talk about 2 tires just yet, but I know someone's thinking about it. Tim Robb has the #1 spot right there. Good stuff. Thurston on track now, on pit road. A lot of guys shifting positions here in the top 10. I bet when they came into this race, nobody expected essentially a green flag run the entire way, right? I mean, knock on wood, things can change. quickly. We've all seen that, but so far, this is exactly what this can be. Smucker now leads the laps right here. But this is also what they're expecting, right? Smucker, you know, he right now wants a caution. Caution comes out, Smecker's race changes on a dime. He is in great shape. Obviously, all these guys are going to pass him quickly, but he still has that lead. A caution now changes the game. Same thing for Zelazny, right? P2, Hagan, Angel, Frankie Barroso. But that's how these races can go here in ASRA, right? Sometimes, hey, last week, for example, everyone's screaming and hollering, man, too many cautions, and you're wrecking me, and this is, you know, I'm getting wrecked here, left and right. But then today, I can promise you, there's a good handful of guys who are screaming for a caution. You never know. So far, it's a good race. Getting pretty dark out, though, I will say. Joseph Mealy, take a ride on board real quick. The gyro cam. You can kind of see it. Pretty well dark in the skies right now. It'll stay a daytime condition to end this race, but we're not going to go into nighttime. But man, right now, really, really dark on track. Some patches of blue out there and beyond turn 3, but so far so good. Zelazny, I believe, had to back up into his pit box. That actually, man, that kills a lot of time you don't want to see. Hagan, though, 10 seconds back and catching quick. Barroso far back as well in P2. Hagan has this thing dialed in right now, trying to go for his 3rd win of the season. And we talked to him after his 2nd win this season, and we're like, man, oh, damage right there actually on the outside. That's going to affect his car. We see the damage now. Look at that, the right front. Little scrapage going on there. Maybe not too bad, but enough to maybe affect the handling. I don't know, we'll see. But we talked to him after his 2nd win of the season. I believe it was Pocono. And man, it's kind of like, you know, what changed for you, right? For John Hagan, because last season, his time with us, you know, he did really well, right? But he just never really had the chance to win a race. He did win at Twin Ring Motegi. At a pretty interesting way it ended, which if you go back and watch that race, you'll know why. But still won the race, but every other race wasn't really, you know, didn't really have it, right? But man, something about this season has just clicked. And John Hagan, even as the competition has gotten way better here in this series, man, he has risen above it as well. So good stuff for John Hagan. Good to see good people do good, right? Smucker, Christian Angel now down pit road. 4 tires fuel for those guys. And that'll give the lead back to John Hagan. So right now, Hagan up front, Barroso in P2. Trying to make something out of this race. Adam Garza 3rd, Mark Whitley 4th, Tim Robb still holding on to that top 5 spot, man. Good effort right here. Thurston in P6 has kind of lost some steam here. Was on that top 3, top 4 spot, but a couple spots lost here. Brandon Bowie up to P7. Fleming, another consistent good run today. Fetter place, and then Jackson Anderson up in P10. Ryan Sharp though, hold on. Oh, Ryan Sharp a lap down. Not going to quite make it. You can see it though on your screen, right? The top 16 on the lead lap. Daryl Young, the last driver on the lead lap right now. Got to be careful because, hey, John Hagan not too far back. You can see him right behind him. 2 cars back. He is catching. Green flag runs will do that for you for sure. But awesome stuff here. Oh, getting word Smucker sped on pit road. Okay, man, tough break. I love that. I love when the chat speaks up. It's awesome. Sometimes I can't hear these things when we're in the booth, but hey, that's it's all good. It's a part of the mystery. But yeah, Smerker, man, tough. I'll tell you what. I mean, I hate to say it, right? Well, the obvious thing, but man, Smerker has just had a super rough season. Started off pretty well, I believe, but then man, just like 3 straight DNFs. You know, some of it his own doing, some of it, you know, just poor internet or you know, issues, just bad luck all around. And today, you know, sped, gonna come down pit road again here. I'm not sure if this is scheduled or not, but just an awful season so far, but definitely time to turn it around. They'll come down though, take the tires, take the fuel, it looks like. Hold on, no fuel, no tires. Nothing's going up in the air. Maybe just gonna, I don't know. Oh man, tough for that 26 machine. What's not tough though is the 81. Man, this dude is just putting on a show right now. Extremely quick. Stage 1 and stage 2. And hey, showing up and showing out. Good stuff. 6 seconds back is Adam Garza. Let's bring him in. There he is. Second place, Frankie Barroso, not too far back here in third. Again, a lot of these guys probably wanting a caution. It just might not come, right? You just never know. Right now, everyone's spread out, doing their thing. You never, ever know. Brandon Bowie, P7, bunch of guys. Daryl Young still in 16th. Hagan right there behind him. About to put P16 in lap down. Kenny Reel, Will Doe. Man, good run actually here for Will Doe. And Kenny Reel staying up in that top 15 to not get a lap down. It's a good job. Jacob Weist, another consistent day today in P12. Looking to continue his great season so far. It's just funny, right? I mean, that's kind of the yin and yang of you know, seasons, right? I mean, I look at, you know, Devin Smecker, we just talked about, you know, earlier, having a really bad luck season, right? And I feel like that was Weist's season last year. And right now, he's just doing all the right things. So it just, hey, what a difference a season makes, man. It can really change just like that. So 7.5 seconds back, we're seeing Garza right here in P2. Rob, though, is right there. Let's see if we can ride on board. Just kind of see. I want the gyro cam. There it is. I mean, he is catching quick. Tim Robb definitely has some speed here in this machine. I mean, look at that. He can just send it right in to turn 3. Now you got to be careful here. You don't want to burn the tires up too much, right? You can pass him here, but he might, you know, he might get around you again. But we've seen Garza kind of struggle with the long run speed in this car. Tim Robb, though, making it work on the outside lane. Thurston not too far back either, so gonna be a big battle here for P2. As we already get to 25 laps to go in this race. Unbelievable. So battle for P2 really heating up here. Thurston gonna be impatient. I love the move. Down low, 2-for-1 deal. Didn't quite clear Tim Robb. Tim Robb actually makes it work on the outside. Great stuff there. So Tim Robb maintains P2. Garza, though, going to fall back to 4th. Frankie Barroso 3 wide here in the back for a second there. Wow. Devin Smecker, Austin Halsey. They have fresher tires than Frankie does. Frankie's kind of just holding on here. Trying to salvage a good day if he can. I wonder what might have been, right? If those guys, there were like 6 or 7 guys at that one and only caution we had on lap 17 that didn't pit, right? Bowie, Frankie Barroso, I believe it was a couple more too. Devin, I believe, was one, Zelazny. But right now, they're all kind of struggling for the most part, right? What would have happened if they would have pit right then? Ooh, man, little wiggle. Kenny Reel not giving it up there. Hagan getting around lap traffic the hard way. Something we don't always see, right, in this series. These super long green flag runs produces this right here. Getting around lap traffic, and depending on who's leading, depending on, bad blood, right, they might not make it easy. Hagan, though, doing everything right so far in today's race. About to put Villalobos a lap down. That'll be P11. So now only the top 10 remain on the lead lap. Will Doe on pit road comes off here. 20 to go. We expect to see a couple more guys come down pit road as well for some stops, depending on their strategy from before. But again, I think a lot of guys predicted some more yellows, right? We had one, and that was it. Still 20 to go, right? I'm not gonna hold my breath here, but man, this can change very quickly. Whitley in P6 in the Java machine looking pretty good. Matthew Fleming in P7, Salyers 8th. A lot of guys are having good days. And I feel like Fleming, Weist, right? These guys, or not Weist, excuse me, Fleming and Salyers needed a day like today to kind of set the tone, right? Kind of reset the mind frame, right? That they can do this, they can do really well, they can have a consistent day. Good stuff. Frankie Barroso comes down pit road, actually, so here he is. Giving up a lot of spots here, but we'll have fresh tires. 2 tires, 4 tires. 2 tire stop right there, so interesting call. Keep him in mind. If a yellow flag comes out, where does that leave him? Now, obviously, John Hagan just passed him coming out of turn. Actually, excuse me, not yet. So Frankie will remain on the lead lap, or at least he should. We'll see. If yellow comes out, though, watch out for Frankie Barroso. He might have the goods. 17 laps to go, though. We are getting down to it. Huge thanks to all of our sponsors, by the way. Whiplash, SimCams. Go and check them out on Facebook and, social media. Their Discord as well. A lot of good people there. And, the cameras are insane. They're just so good. And they make us look awesome, and we appreciate them. So Frankie Barroso being shown on the lead lap right now, but man, not too far back. Crosses the line there. Hagan right here in turns 3 and 4. So good stuff right here today. But man, 15 laps to go. This race has flown by. The Marcos Garage 225. You love to see it. What a difference a week makes. John Hagan up front has just dominated this race today. 11.5 seconds up front. Has to pass some more lap down cars. These cars are multiple laps down now. Ryan Sharp, John Hagan. Excuse me, Josh Larson, but John Hagan has to get around these two. This is the nice thing, too, about having the laps, right? Having the 11-second gap. You can just kind of mosey your way around the place and do really, really well. And pass everyone nice and easy. So John Hagan, well on his way here, 13 laps to go to his 3rd win of the season. Man, can he get it? Been a damn good season so far for him. And so far, I put him in that category of championship contender, but a long way to go this season. James Thurston, P2. Again, a couple of guys who I feel like their win's coming, right? Thurston, man, this dude can win for sure. We know that. Garza. Tim Robb even, right? This race, I feel like, for me, you know, I've always put him in the category of Tim Robb can win a race for sure in this series. It's just a matter of when, right? He needs that. He just needs the race to go his way. And, man, it has so far for him today. Just a couple spots off, but we'll see. Lot can change. Federer placed down to P17. Man, he was knocking on the door of a top 10, but something didn't work right for him in this race. Christian Angel, Frankie Barroso. Good stuff. And to talk about Christian Angel real quick, I mean, right now going to be 3 wide here. Man, Federer Place is just hauling ass on the outside lane. 3 wide here. Angel backs off. Keeps it going. But just to talk about Angel and what this kind of a race can do, right? You know, this might be, yeah, maybe it's a boring race for these guys. You know, no cautions, no way to kind of restart their race or to kind of gain more spots, right? But I really think these races are super huge for guys like Christian Angel, right? He's had a season and a half, really, it feels like, of just bad luck, getting involved in someone else's wreck, you know, or causing one himself, right? And, you know, that wears on you after a while. So even, you know, right now he's P17, okay? But the fact that you're 10 laps away from having a good race, a clean race, all the fenders are on that machine, that's a huge day for a guy like Christian Angel, I feel like, who just needed a race like this. Actually see the checkered flag with all the fenders on it. So, and I feel like a lot of guys feel the same way about that in the field. So this is a good result, I feel like, for a lot of these guys. A good mental reset. And, hey, on to Darlington next week. John Hagan, though, up front, 12.5 seconds up against James Thurston. 8 laps away here from the end of the Marcos Garage, 2:25. Thurston in P2. Tim Robb, though, hey, look out. He is right there knocking on the door of P2. Federer's going to dive down low, though. Again, a lot of these guys just going to be praying for that caution that it's just not going to come. Garza in P4. Fleming, a top 5 spot for him would be incredible. Great run for Fleming, making it happen. Mark Whitley in P6. He said pre-race he wants to have a good day today, a good race. And I would say so. Got stage points all race long, and a P6 is not too bad for our 2-time defending champion. Salyer's P7, man, not a bad job today. Again, consistent, clean. That's all you can ask for. Jacob Weiss continues his awesome season. Right now, a top 8 spot. Man, really solid. That's all you can ask for, right? This season comes down to consistency and points building more than anything else, right? It's not necessarily about the wins. It's just about being there at the end. Anderson, P9. Villalobos, 10th. Daryl Young still right there kind of knocking on the door of a top 10 today, if he can get it. Incredible race so far. Man, so far. It's almost done. What the hell am I talking about, man? I am ecstatic about this race so far. Frankie Barroso diving it in. His teammate, man, it just sucks so bad, man. Michael Johnson, so fast, had the wheel disconnect on lap 17. Just could not keep it going. Wasn't able to get that, hey, 4 laps to go, but wasn't able to get that caution to get himself back on track to really kind of go for it. Man, that sucks but it can happen. Spencer Burns on track right now, had to come down pit road for a splash. Man, unfortunate there for Spencer Burns. Bunch more guys having good runs again. Runs that these guys need, right? This is going to be a good mental reset for a lot of guys going into Darlington next week. A tough track, but historically a very good one, to be honest, for us here in ASRA. We will see. But John Hagen, he's been the story today. 2 laps to go for the Marcos Garage 225. Hagen, already a 2-time winner this season. Right now looking to get his 3rd win on the season in a race where we've been missing a couple big names. But hey, Hagen today is the big name. Out of turn 4. Is going to get the white flag here. There it is. Starch Industries, 1 to go here for the Marcos Garage 225. Hagen, a 2-time winner already this season. Absolutely dominating performance here. This race, 1 caution flag on the day, no cars out of the race due to damage. An absolute banger here from the Lone Star State, Texas Motor Speedway. The Marcos Garage 225 goes to John Hagen, his 3rd win of the season. Big win here today for John Hagen, his 3rd win. Man, absolutely dominating performance here. Basically a green race the entire way. Only 1 caution earlier on. Very minimal incident. Wheel disconnect. Absolute awesome race. P2, James Thurston. P2, James Thurston. Tim Robb going to be in 3rd spot, man. Awesome, awesome run for Tim Robb. Garza in P4, Fleming in P5, Whitley 6th, Sire 7th, Weist, Anderson, and then Frankie Barroso round out the top 10. John Hagen gonna burn it down here. No Limits Texas on the asphalt. There he is, the No Limits. So the tire is going to get worn down on the asphalt. We'll come right back, folks. We'll thank some sponsors. We'll talk to your top 3 in just a second. All right, folks, welcome back to the Marcos Garage 225. At the conclusion of it, Tim Robb finishes in P3. We're going to bring him in right now and talk about his race. Absolute awesome race today for Tim Robb. Let's see if we can track him down real fast. There There he is, Tim Robb in the radio, man. Awesome run today for you in that 57. I thought today maybe you had a chance sitting on the pole, but hey, either way, incredible job today, man. How do you feel?
I feel good to finally get a good result. I'm normally good at intermediates, even though it never shows in this series, but I had a feeling I'd be good on speed today, but I just wanted to get through a clean race, no mistakes, and just get some good points on the board, given the way the season's gone so far.
Yes, sir, man. I mean, obviously a very good run today. Again, I talked about it in the race. I feel like you're one of those guys, right? You're kind of on the edge. You can win a race. It's just a matter of when. And right now, today kind of really proved to me, further, maybe into the fans too, that it's coming, right? That win is coming closer, I think, than you think it is. And man, more efforts like that are pretty awesome. So how did it feel? I know it's kind of a complete vibe change, right? From last week in New Hampshire, a million cautions. Today, one caution really which even should have even come out. So how does that change your mindset as a driver, going from cautions to now essentially a green flag race?
Yeah, it's definitely about just pacing yourself and not making mistakes. Whereas last week, it felt like the vibe was just get everything you can within one lap because that's all we were going to race. This week, it was just save your stuff, find a good rhythm, find the line that works for you, and just kind of do your own thing, and everything else will take care of itself.
Yes, sir, man. Awesome stuff today again for Apollo Motorsports. Hey, you and Jacob Weiss, your teammate, man, just on a roll lately with consistency. It's awesome to see. Give us a real quick shout out if you have any for sponsors or friends and family, man. What you got?
Yeah, mainly just tonight, I just want to thank my Apollo team. Obviously, Jake, really good driver, and he always pushes me to be faster. And we had one of our other teammates tonight, Colin, in the booth with us, helping us call strategy. He definitely helped on the first caution, and I think that was a game changer there, pitting on that stint and getting offset with some of those other guys.
Awesome, man. Hey, congrats again. We'll see you next week at Darlington. A tough track, and hey, we'll see you then, man. Have a good night.
Thanks. See you then.
There he is, Tim Robb, P2 on the day. Man, good stuff. Let's bring in real quick P2, as we do, James Thurston. Man, another guy who's, man, it's coming. I'm telling you. Here he is, James Thurston on the day today. P2, talked to you last week after the race, and hey, today a lot different of a vibe. Basically a green flag race, minus one little small incident. Michael Johnson's wheel disconnects, but besides that, how'd it go out there, man? P2, he had some speed, but got to be happy with the P2, right?
Yeah, I mean, P3 last week, P2 this week. Hey, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's even that way.
I mean, yeah, this race was, I mean, John was lights out. I mean, I got second, but he was 14 seconds ahead of me. I mean, he was celebrating while I was still figuring out how to go into 3 and 4. Just, yeah, happy to finish second for sure. Thanks to Brian Murphy, Murphy Esports, Cardano, just, you know, again, letting me come out here and race for him. It's always fun. I think we got to get that top notch on the podium, though.
It sounds like it's coming, man. I was just telling Tim Robb, right? I feel like, you know, you and maybe him are kind of in that category. Garza really, you know, are guys that you're going to win. It's just a matter of when, right? When's it going to happen? And it's really good to see. Real quick, too, I asked Tim, I'm going to ask you, too, like, what's the vibe like going from a race like we had last week to now where we essentially went green for the entire time, minus that one caution, right? Like, how does that change your mindset? You know, did the long run mentality approach affect the car, how the car handled with the long, you know, tires wise, and like how to go, you know, in that regard?
I enjoyed it quite thoroughly. I love these races where we get long runs, we get to pit, you know, try out different strategies. You know, I just love running long, passing all those cars. It's just, it's always great. Worked out pretty good for me here. So, I mean, yeah, it was just great racing all throughout. It was so much fun to battle Tim there at the end, just both running up top, trying to feed dirty air to him. I mean, he was a little bit quicker, so I had to do something. Just, yeah, I hope we can have more races like that this season. It was absolutely amazing.
I agree, man. Good stuff today from Texas. Next week, Darlington. Historically, actually been a really good race for us. Minimal cautions in the I mean, really the last 4 or 5 seasons. So I expect another banger today. Well, next week as well as today. So good stuff, man. Give us your shout outs if you have any real quick, and then we'll let you go.
Yeah, just once again, thanks to Brian Murphy, Murphy Esports, Cardano. I just love racing for him. It's been a great ride so far. We're marching our way up in the points, and I think we're going to be there at the end of this thing. I really do. Yeah, Darlington next week. That's going to be a fun one. I love that track, so I can't wait for that.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to see it there too. But hey, man, good stuff. Have a good night. We'll see you then.
All right, thank you, man.
There he is. Let's bring him in. John Hagen, P1 on the day. The man who just doesn't know how to quit. Here he is, John Hagen, the winner of today's Marco's Garage 225. Man, just kind of ripping it like right now, right? Cooking, as the kids say nowadays. I'm basically a boomer, so please treat me nicely. But my son grills me all the time. It's great. Hey, man, awesome job, right? Third win on the season. Today just absolutely dominated, and I feel like it kind of was like that the entire race, right? So, like, what did you do right that nobody else did? Because I feel like, 12-second lead at the end, obviously the race kind of was a long run, right? So long run tire saving and whatnot, I'm guessing, had a huge role into it. How'd you do it?
That first little stint of 16 laps or whatever, I really just needed to get a feel for what the car did in traffic. I know racing here in Texas, you really got to save that right front, otherwise you are screwed. Because if you don't save the right front, then the weight shifts to the right rear, and then you're wrecking loose the entire run while plowing tight. So for me, it was save that right front, use a little bit of that right rear to aid in saving that right front. It wasn't anything crazy I was doing. I was just making sure I wasn't getting too jumpy on the throttle out of 2. That was really where your tires wore, was turn 2. Everywhere, turns 3 and 4, you're lifting and back in it. You're just playing with dirty air or not. So that really didn't have a huge effect on the tires, but turn 2 was the big spot that I saw everybody missing. They would get in a touch too deep, shoot up the track, use that right front to drive it down, and then get loose. And I just wasn't doing that. I was staying disciplined in wrapping and making sure not to get too early on the throttle.
Yes, sir, man. Obviously put on the masterclass today, and awesome stuff. Hey, right now it seems like, championship favorite, maybe, question mark. 3 race wins. Obviously, race wins don't really matter in the sense of like winning you're in, right? But those playoff points definitely add up once we get to that round of 16. So definitely adding up as we go, man. Awesome stuff. Next week we go to Darlington. What are your thoughts about that track?
I love that track. That was my first true taste of almost victory in ASRA. I know you remember that race.
Oh, yeah,
where
I do.
Everything went to hell in a handbag in the span of 5 laps. But we're gonna rip. I love that place. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can do 2 back-to-back and put 4 on the win column.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it, man. Hey, give us a quick shout out, by the way, to your sponsors, friends and family, man. What you got for us?
Shout out to AZR, Trevor and Jackson, for putting me on the team, and all my teammates that race with me. Thank you to them for putting me in this ride, letting me rip it. Shout out you, Steve, for putting on this league and broadcasting doing the total package. You do a great job. Shout out my beautiful girlfriend for putting up with me when I race and I yell and I scream and I do it loudly. So thank you to her. She's amazing. And hey, if you want to sponsor me, I'm open. I'm free. Hit my line.
Love that, man. Hey, you got to get it out, right? So good stuff, dude. Hey, we'll see you next week in Darlington. Congrats again on the win, man. Have a good night.
Thank you.
There he is, the winner of today's Marco's Garage 225. John Hagen, man, 3-time winner this season. Looking very, very good. Very dominant so far. Awesome to see. Right now, that's going to be it, folks. Hey, the Marco's Garage 225. That's it. Already a 11:15 on the East Coast. Unbelievable. Those are the results on the side of your screen. Next week, hey, Darlington, going to be an awesome time. 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here on race day. I encourage you folks to be here and watch that. Going to be a lot of fun. The Midseason Madness tournament finale will be a lot of fun to watch that, see how that goes down. We'll cover a lot of that in our social medias at ASRA iRacing on X. And then check us out at the website, asraiRacing.com. Our own website to show off different links and Discord links and all that kind of stuff if you want to join the community. So, hey, have a good night, folks. We'll see you next week in Darlington at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a good night. Stay safe.